I'm Fife Symington. In 1997, during my second term as governor of Arizona, I saw something that defied logic and challenged my reality.
It was the evening of March 13th, 1997. People across Arizona reported seeing a silent, miles-long V-shaped group of lights gliding quietly overhead.
Right over Prescott Valley, where we get one of the best descriptions of what happened next. At 8:30, Tim Lay and his family saw the lights start to approach them from Paulden, approximately 65 miles away. The lights, and the black shape that was blocking out the stars, slowly rose into the clouds and vanished. By 10 p.m, hundreds of calls had been made, with many people saying they saw a row of brilliant lights hovering and dancing in the sky, perhaps confirming one of the largest UFO sightings in history.
We found a piece of metal, about a foot and a half to 2 feet wide and about 2 or 3 feet long. Felt like you had nothing in your hands. It wasn't any thicker than the foil out of a pack of cigarettes. But the thing about that got me is that you couldn't even bend it, you couldn't dead it. Even with a sledgehammer would bounce off it. So I knew that I had never seen anything like that before. And as of now, I don't know what it was.
I saw one, but I don't know what, it just disappeared.
And the saucer flew right over him and put down 3 little gear and landed out on the dry lake bed.
60 seconds.
I saw this illumination that was moving with respect to the stars. We were smart enough to not say, Houston, there's a light out there that's following us. So technically, it becomes an unidentified flying object.
On Monday, former high-level government employees, military officials, and pilots from all over the world will come together. They'll discuss their own UFO sightings and encounters, and they'll do it at the National Press Club in the nation's capital.
This is when we first saw the UFO. This is when the pilot saw the UFO. This is when the military guy saw the UFO.
Performing speeds and maneuvers significantly in excess of anything that they'd seen military jet aircraft perform.
Physical traces on the ground from the craft were confirmed by the local police.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program.
I witnessed recovered alien spacecraft that the Department of Naval Intelligence in the United States was back engineering.
Did you see any source of propulsion from the flying object, including on any potential thermal scans from your aircraft?
No, there's none. There's no IR plume coming out, and there's no visible signs of propulsion. It's just sitting in space at 20,000 feet.
Anything that takes power, some of that power is going to be converted to heat, and it's just wasted. This didn't.
And with no self-evident propulsion system.
No wings, no IR energy coming off of the vehicle, nothing tethering it to the ground. And that was primarily what we were experiencing out there.
For instance, a plane. Once it's in the air, we envision thrust or some force coming out the back of it to push it forward. The crafts work completely opposite of that. What they do is once they're hovering in the air, they'll swing the two remaining gravity generators up in front of them and create a distortion, essentially a downhill, and the craft rolls downhill for infinity. It's always chasing a little distortion.
But it's actually, there are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So you're saying you may declassify?
Oh.
You'll take it?
Well, I'll have to think about that one, right? I'll have to think.
You had fiscal showdowns and government shutdowns and pandemics and oil spills and pirates. Y'all remember the pirates? I mean, the only thing we haven't had to deal with is like the asteroid, you know, or the aliens. That's true. Good point. Shouldn't have mentioned the aliens.
William, ven, ven, ven. William.
E tá indo contra o vento ainda.
Al lado de la aeronave. Pese a la presencia del objeto y su aparente velocidad, los pilotos continúan la grabación en medio de la risa nerviosa de una mujer que está en la
beautiful it is out there. Look. Look how beautiful it is out there. Wow.
When we, traveling south on Route 3, arrived in an area called Lancaster, New Hampshire, Betty called my attention to an object or a star that she had been watching.
As I was watching, this star seemed to be getting larger and brighter. And as we rode along, I kept watching it, and then all of a sudden, I noticed that it had started to move. And we decided to stop, get out of the couch, and take a look at it.
I told her that it was probably a satellite. Nothing to get alarmed about. She then passed the binoculars to me and said, well, you must really look at this satellite because it's not behaving as we would expect a satellite to behave like. And surprisingly, this, what I thought was a satellite, began coming in my direction at a very rapid rate of speed. Well, this caused me to become quite alarmed. And I told my wife, well, apparently it is not a satellite, it must be a passenger plane, and they obviously are looking at us, and I felt uncomfortable to see this, what I thought was a plane, come in our direction. So I returned to the car, and so did she, and we drove down the highway.
But then, as they continue driving south, Betty notices the aircraft appears to be stalking them.
And then it appeared to bounce back and forth in the sky like a ping pong ball.
Well, from this point, I was getting quite frightened because of this, and I thought it must have been military pilots. They could obviously see us on the ground with the lights of the car on. I thought they were playing a game with us out there.
They followed us for approximately 30 miles. And then in an area called Indian Head, it left the top of the mountain, came out over the highway, and stopped mid-air on the highway right in front of us.
In early 1964, 2 years after her UFO encounter, Betty Hill also undergoes hypnosis designed to recall what happened that night.
Trance Betty, in a deep, deep sleep, deep asleep, fully relaxed or asleep.
I don't know where we are. I don't even know how we got here. At that time, I didn't feel afraid.
Why are you crying if you're not afraid?
I was afraid when I saw the men in the road.
Men in the road?
I never been so afraid in my life.
The next thing Betty remembers is the alien beings escorting her through the woods and onto the spacecraft.
They're taking me up to the object. Now, I don't want to go on it. I don't know what's going to happen if I go on it. I don't want to go. I go up the ramp, and I go inside. I'll watch them take Barney in the next room, and I go in this room.
That's where Betty meets someone she calls the Examiner.
He tells me to take off my dress, and then before I even have a chance hardly to stand up to do it, the Examiner, my dress has a zipper down the back, and the Examiner unzips my dress. It goes way down to my waist, the zipper does. And so I slip my dress off. And so I don't have my dress or my shoes on. They roll me over on my back, and the Examiner has a long needle in his hand. And it's bigger than any needle I've ever seen. And I asked him what he's going to do with it. And he said, just a simple test, it won't hurt me. And I asked him what. And he said he just wants to put it in my navel. And it's just a simple test. And I tell him, no, it won't hurt. Don't do it. Don't do it. And he said, no, it won't hurt. And he sticks a needle into my navel. And I'm crying, and I tell him it's hurting, take it out. And then the leader, he goes over and he puts his hand, runs his hand in front of my eyes, and he says, I'll be all right. I won't feel it. And all the pain goes away. But the pain goes away, but I'm still sore from where they put I don't know why they put that long needle into my navel. I tried to tell them they shouldn't do it.
Did they make any sexual advances to you?
No.
They didn't?
No. I asked the leader, I said, why did they stick the needle in my navel? And he said it was a pregnancy test. And I said, well, I don't know what they expected, but that was no pregnancy test here.
Travis had that door open and was getting out.
And all of a sudden, this bluish light came out.
It was blind panic, white knuckles.
I hollered out, they got him. Sheriff showed up. He didn't really believe our story.
You killed him, just admit it.
He kept telling me, if you just tell us where the body is, we're gonna all go home.
There was probably 150, 200 people out searching for Travis.
Our town had never really had any reporters at all, and then all of a sudden there's like people from all different countries.
It was scary, really scary.
Phone rang, and there was a voice on the other side saying,
Hey, this is Travis. Come and get me.
He seemed really different. He seemed traumatized. He seemed kind of scared.
I felt like there was something seriously wrong. It was only a matter of seconds before I realized that these weren't human doctors. This was an alien face.
Your reality just becomes so different. It scares the hell out of you.
Sometimes it bothers me a lot. Why did it happen? Why was it us?
I think people need to realize that we're not alone in the universe.
The phenomenon is real.
In a leaked video that emerged on the internet, an alleged encounter between a man and an extraterrestrial being took place at an undisclosed location within a secret base in the United States. After a brief period of visual engagement, the man and the extraterrestrial reach out and firmly shake hands. This momentary physical contact suggests a mutual acknowledgement or agreement between the two parties. The handshake appears formal, devoid of any overt displays or reputable sources. Skepticism should be exercised when evaluating the footage. The leaked video serves as a piece of intriguing but unconfirmed evidence in the realm of alleged extraterrestrial encounters. As with any leaked material, its origin and intentions behind its release by an anonymous source raise additional questions about its credibility. The lack of supporting information or corroboration adds further complexity to the assessment of this alleged encounter. Without official documentation or reliable sources, it is impossible to draw definitive conclusions regarding the nature and significance of this encounter. Until further evidence emerges or official disclosures are made, this leaked video remains an unverified curiosity within the realm of alleged extraterrestrial encounters.
If you had one comment to say, Bob, on this congressional hearing, what would it be?
I told you.